Let's now look at problems of distribution in West Africa. If you are a producer in West Africa, or if you have studied production in West Africa, you're going to know that there are so many problems. What are these problems? One, inadequate infrastructural facilities. The facilities are not enough. Two, inadequate storage. Three, hoarding and speculation. I think I have to throw a little light on this. Let's think of a situation where people are expecting that, okay, for instance, the price of fuel is going to increase at a later date. Now they get to begin to buy fuel and keep it because they are speculating that later the price is going to increase. So later they get to sell it at a higher rate. Now, because of that, it creates scarcity. Because of that, it disrupts the distribution chain at the moment, which is not good. We also have packaging problems. Lots of companies do not really know how to package before their products get to the final consumers. Most times it's damaged, and sometimes the packaging does not even really look appealing. We have inadequate transport system. That's a big problem. Long chain of distribution. Before it moves from this person to the next person, to the next person, to the next person, it's really long. We have insecurity on the road. That is not something I should explain. You see it in the news every day. Absence of large markets. And the last is smuggling. Let's talk about economic activities that can improve effective distribution and marketing of commodities in West Africa. Number one, establishment of more marketplaces. Number two, encouragement of cooperative societies. Number three, establishment of national supply company. Number four, construction of roads. Number five, provision of storage facilities. 6. Reduction in the number of middlemen. 7. Establishment of marketing boards. 8. Improvement in communication system. So now let's look at another concept, consumption. This is the act of using resources to satisfy current needs and wants. It is viewed in contrast to investing, which is spending for acquisition of future income. So for consumption, you're just using your money to get what you need to satisfy your immediate needs. But for investing, you're actually using your money to get things that can help you in future. Determinant factors of consumption. What are the factors that determine consumption? 1, we have income. Economists consider income level to be the most crucial factor affecting consumption. How much you earn is definitely going to affect how much you consume. We have consumer expectations. Changes in the prices will change the real income and purchasing power of the consumer. So if the consumer's expectation about future prices change, it can change their consumption decisions in the present period. For instance, you're expecting that maybe the price of this particular commodity is going to rise later. At this point, you're going to maybe buy more because you want to keep on consuming that good. But if you see that, okay, maybe it's going to fall later, you could buy less because later you're going to buy at a lower price. And then we have consumer assets and wealth. These are in form of cash, bank deposits, as well as physical assets such as stocks of durable goods or real estate such as land, houses, etc. These factors can affect consumption. If the mentioned assets are sufficiently liquid, they will remain in reserves and can be used in emergencies. We have interest rates. Fluctuations in interest rates can affect household consumption decisions. An increase in the interest rate increases people's savings and as a result reduces their consumption expenditure. Household size. Household absolute consumption costs increase as the number of family members increases. Social groups. Household consumptions vary in different social groups. The smaller the gap between groups in a society, the more homogeneous consumption patterns within the society. We have area. Consumption patterns are different in different geographical regions. Basic economic problems. So what are the basic economic problems in any society? Basic economic problems refer to the problems people encounter in society while attempting to satisfy their numerous wants with the limited resources available to them. So some of these economic problems include 1. What to produce. This problem arises mainly as a result of the fact that human wants are unlimited related to the available resources. It is practically impossible to produce all human wants or needs. Hence, the need for resource allocation in order to meet the pressing needs of The people. Now, factors which determine what to produce. We have consumers' needs, market demand, consumer income, cost of production, availability of resources, and type of economy. We have number 2, how to produce. So as soon as what to produce is determined or established, how to produce the goods and services becomes another basic economic problems. Now let's look at the factors which determine how to produce. We have technique of production. That's labor-intensive technique, capital-intensive technique. We also have technological advancement, production function, relative cost of factors of production. The third problem is for whom to produce. All goods and services produced must go to the final consumers. So production is not complete until the goods and services get to the final consumers. So you have to determine who are you producing for. Let's look at factors which determine who to produce for. Satisfaction of wants, level of income, and of course, type of economic system. Number 4, we have efficiency of resource use. This in production refers to the optimum use or combination of factors of production to achieve higher and better output at a reasonable cost. Factors which determine efficient use of resources. We have quality of labor, techniques of production. Let's now talk about application of production possibility frontier, PPF. What is this production possibility frontier? It's also known as the production possibility curve and production possibility boundary. Production possibility frontier, PPF, also known as production possibility curve, PPC, and production possibility boundary, PPB, refers to a diagram or graph showing the possible combinations of two commodities that can be produced given a particular amount of resources and level of technology in an economy within a given period of time. The idea behind the production possibility frontier is that in order to produce a particular commodity, the production of another commodity has to be sacrificed. The PPF has a downward slope from left to right. Note that the PPF has a downward slope from left to right, indicating, what does it indicate? Indicating that there's an opportunity cost of producing more of one type of commodity. The cost is, however, measured in terms of the quantity forgone of the other types of commodity. Remember, we had spoken about opportunity cost. Let's talk about the example of a possibility frontier for the production of motor vehicles in South Africa. Now look at this particular table. It's telling you the possible combinations, and then it's telling you the heads of cattle, the number of vehicles. So either you're going to be rearing a number of cattle or you're going to be producing a number of vehicles. So we are saying that, so at point A, if you're rearing 200 cattle, you cannot be producing motor vehicles. That means it's going to be 0. Now at point B, you have 170 cattle, and then you have 30 vehicles. That means you have sacrificed 30. Now at point C, we have 100 cattle, and of course, 70 motor vehicles. At point D, we have 80 cattle, 130 vehicles. At point E, 40 cattle, 150 vehicles. At point F, 0 cattle, 180 vehicles. So now look at this very graph. You're going to observe that this graph is moving, is downward sloping from the left to the right, showing that at this point you're sacrificing this one is reducing, and this one is increasing. That is basically it. So we have come to the end of this very video. I would want to implore you to please take some time to understand all that was taught in this video. But before I go, I want to ask you a simple question. Explain the relationship between production possibility frontier and opportunity cost. What is that relationship? Take out some time to do this and prepare yourself for the next video.